Dear Radiant Leo, let me ask you something real, right from the start. What if this exact moment today, July 9th or 10, is the turning point your soul has been waiting for, hidden inside a cosmic alignment that won't happen again for another 9 years? Would you listen? Would you act? Because the truth is, this isn't random. You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. The Heaven's Gate is now open, and it's calling your name. This moment, this rare 7/7 portal that just unlocked a few days ago, is delivering a once-in-9 years opportunity to activate something powerful inside of you: wealth, healing, divine love, and your soul mission. And Leo, ruled by the sun itself, you are standing at the center of this energetic vortex. My name is your name if you use it on screen, and I am honored to guide you today. I've helped thousands awaken their energy through astrology, tarot, energy healing, self-mastery, and the law of attraction. And as someone in the top 0.1% of this sacred work, I can tell you with certainty, the cosmic stage is set for you, Leo. The question is, will you step into the spotlight? You see, during July 9-10, your ruler, the mighty Sun, is meeting Jupiter in a rare celestial dance. Venus is illuminating your career and destiny sector. Mercury is preparing to retrograde through the areas of your chart that govern income, clarity, and the circles you keep. This is not just energy. This is instruction. This is transformation disguised as invitation. And it all starts with awareness. With presence. With choice. Perhaps you felt it already, a soft whisper in your spirit, a quickening in your chest, a series of strange synchronicities that you can't explain. That's not coincidence. That's your higher self tapping gently on the door of your current life, urging you to wake up to the bigger purpose. And if your heart has been heavy, if you've been carrying silent battles or waiting for a sign to know it's finally your time, then Leo, this is it. In this video, I will walk with you through the energies of this sacred portal. We'll explore the key tarot cards that mirror your journey, the astrological transits that activate your destiny, and the practical, soul-aligned steps you can take now to manifest wealth, attract divine love, and finally step fully into the life that has always been waiting for you. But first, take a moment to acknowledge this very moment. To honor your presence here. Leave a comment below to confirm your connection with this message. Say, I'm ready to walk through the gate. This is your sacred declaration, your first step toward claiming what's already yours in the quantum field. And let me take just a moment to express my deepest gratitude for your presence. Every like, every comment, and every subscription brings you closer to the heart of our growing Eternal Mindfulness family. Your support breathes life into this work and allows these transformational messages to reach more souls across the world. And trust me, dear Leo, you'll want to stay until the very last minute of this reading, because what the universe is revealing to you today is truly spectacular. Now take a deep breath, soften your heart, and let's begin this divine journey together. When a cosmic portal like 7/7 opens, it doesn't just shift the outer universe, it calls forth the deepest movements within your own soul. The number 7, in its sacred symbolism, is not merely mathematical. It represents the essence of inner clarity, wisdom that rises in silence, and the subtle awareness that there is something greater behind what we can see. In the language of energy, 7 is the breath between thoughts, the stillness before a transformation, and the light that only reveals itself when the eyes are closed. So when we speak of this 7/7 gateway, we are not talking about an ordinary moment in time. We are standing at a threshold, one that your soul has, perhaps unknowingly, waited for across lifetimes. Now imagine this: the sun, your ruling planet as a Leo, radiating its fullest light, meets Jupiter, the planet of expansion and divine opportunity. This is not just a transit. It is a spiritual ignition, like two great forces bowing to one another in reverence, then rising together to crown you with a path that has always been yours. During this time, your natural gifts, your charisma, leadership, magnetism, and truth are being amplified. But more than that, your soul contract is being whispered back to you through the language of synchronicity. You may find yourself called to step up, speak out, or surrender to something bigger than your ego had planned. The portal doesn't demand noise. It doesn't ask for perfection. It asks only for presence, for awareness. It requires you to sit with your inner truth, not to force it into shape, but to soften long enough for its true form to emerge. In teachings of awakened stillness, there is the understanding that the gate does not swing open with force, but with gentleness. It opens when the heart is calm, the mind is quiet, and the breath returns to itself. As Leo, your journey is rarely about shrinking. It is about learning when to shine and when to listen. And in this particular window of cosmic light, listening becomes the greatest form of power. What are you truly yearning for beneath the noise of your desires? Is it recognition, or is it peace? Is it wealth, or is it the freedom to finally live as who you really are? These questions are not there to challenge you, they are there to return you to yourself. So what can you do right now, in these 7 sacred days while the portal remains vibrationally open? Start small. Wake up with the sun and spend 10 minutes in silent awareness. Let light touch your skin before your phone does. Wear or carry a crystal or talisman that holds the frequency of clarity and abundance, something like a 777 charged bracelet, not for superstition, but as a symbolic anchor of intention. Take a piece of paper and write 7 things you're willing to give freely without condition, without expectation. The act of giving is not about losing energy, it is about creating space for new light to enter. What you offer without agenda returns multiplied. In these next days, stay aware of the gentle movements in your life, the conversation that feels strangely timely, the dream you can't quite forget, the moment of hesitation that seems to carry a message. These are not coincidences. These are instructions. And always remember, portals don't force you through them. They wait patiently. They call to the part of you that's ready. They whisper, not shout. And right now, Leo, that whisper is growing louder, inviting you to rise not just as the lion who leads, but as the one who listens, softens, and allows divine timing to shape a destiny brighter than anything you've tried to control. When certain cards appear in a reading during a powerful portal like 7/7, they're not just symbols on paper, theory mirrors of your inner landscape, reflections of energies already stirring beneath the surface. The Magician, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Empress do not show up together by coincidence. They arrive as a trilogy of power, potential, and creation. The Magician reminds you that you are already in possession of every tool you need: mental clarity, emotional resilience, spiritual focus, and physical resourcefulness. But tools alone are not enough. The Ace of Pentacles enters as the seed, the golden moment, the sacred beginning that can only sprout when planted in aligned action. And the Empress, so often misunderstood, is not simply about luxury or femininity. She represents the fertile space of deep trust, the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your worth without having to prove it. This moment in your life, especially as a Leo under the illumination of the Sun and the amplifying gaze of Jupiter, is less about chasing and more about aligning. You are not asked to become more, you are being asked to remember who you've always been. The Magician is not about manipulation or control, but about channeling. The Empress does not force anything to grow, she receives, she holds, she allows. And that Ace of Pentacles? It's not just an opportunity, it's a doorway. But you must be the one to walk through it, without dragging the weight of old stories behind you. That's where Temperance and the Queen of Swords come in, not to contradict this energy, but to refine it. Temperance is the gentle art of holding opposites without collapsing into conflict. It teaches you to mix light and shadow with intention, not fear. To pace yourself when life is demanding speed. To pause when your instincts say run. It's the reminder that even transformation needs breathing room. Paired with the Queen of Swords, we see a new kind of power emerging. Clarity with compassion, boundaries with grace. The Queen of Swords isn't cold, precise. She has walked through fire and emerged with discernment. Her sword doesn't cut to harm, it cuts to liberate. You may feel during these days that emotions arise suddenly, triggers, memories, old wounds. Let them rise, but don't let them rule. This is a powerful time to detox not only your body but your emotional field. Begin with a simple 3-day practice. Remove distractions, avoid gossip or energy-draining environments, journal your thoughts without judgment, and allow yourself to observe rather than react. In stillness, the truth often reveals itself not with a roar, but with a whisper. And often, clarity begins where the noise ends. Then we meet the Ten of Pentacles and the Chariot, a powerful convergence of legacy and momentum. The Ten of Pentacles is not fast wealth or lucky breaks. It's accumulated abundance, often generational, built on consistency and values. The Chariot brings the drive, the will to move forward, but not recklessly. When these two appear together, it means there's an opportunity ahead that can lead to long-term stability, but it requires movement, intention, and a confident yes. Perhaps a contract, a job shift, a creative idea that wants structure. This is not the time to wait. The Chariot moves, but only when the driver knows where they're going. And if you've been directionless, this is the moment to choose, not based on fear of missing out, but on quiet certainty. So let me ask you, sincerely, what are you hoping to receive right now? Is it love? A financial breakthrough? A fresh beginning? Or something deeper, a sense of purpose, a renewed trust in life? Comment below and let me know. Sometimes, the simple act of naming what you desire allows the universe to begin responding. There is power in acknowledgement. There is healing in truth. And there is momentum in choice. This moment was written into your story long before you arrived here. Now, it's up to you to live it consciously. There is a quiet intelligence in the sky right now. A kind of language written not in words but in motion, planetary motion, to be exact. When Mercury begins to slow down in preparation for its retrograde through your 2nd and 11th houses, it's not asking you to fear miscommunication or stall your plans. Instead, it's offering you a mirror. The 2nd house rules what you value both materially and personally. The 11th speaks to your wider networks, your long-term dreams, and the people you align with to make those dreams real. So when Mercury moves backward through these two realms, it's less of a glitch and more of a quiet invitation to examine. Are you living in integrity with what you say you want? Are your finances reflecting your priorities? Are your relationships supporting your evolution, or have they become energetic echoes of who you used to be? This retrograde doesn't come to break you, it comes to realign you. Like a gardener pruning away dead branches, it clears the path for new growth. And while many fear Mercury's infamous reversals, this particular cycle is powerful for Leo because it gives you the clarity to restructure what's no longer sustainable. You may find yourself revisiting budget habits, reevaluating collaborative projects, or even sensing subtle shifts in your community. None of this is random. It's all part of a greater movement, one designed to pull you out of survival and into meaningful, soul-aligned strategy. Layered atop this retrograde is the luminous presence of Venus in your 10th house. Venus doesn't just govern love and pleasure, she governs magnetism, the art of drawing in rather than chasing. In the 10th house, the domain of public image, career, and destiny, her influence can feel like a soft spotlight shining directly on your worth. This is where unexpected offers may arise, romantic, professional, or both. You may feel called to step into the public more visibly or to express your truth through your creative or professional work. Your presence becomes your currency. But Venus in the 10th also teaches us that what is externally recognized must first be internally honored. Do you truly believe in what you offer the world? This is your chance to let go of false humility and to lead with quiet confidence. Numerology deepens this message. July 9th and 10th vibrate with the energy of the number 7. Repeating and amplifying through 9 plus 7 is equal to 16. 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. In sacred mathematics, 7 is the number of introspection, inner mastery, and spiritual return. It invites stillness. It asks questions like, what is enough, and who am I without noise? When this vibration appears multiple times, as it does now, it's a sign that your soul is being called home, not to a physical location, but to a deeper alignment with your purpose. It's the kind of energy that doesn't shout, but it changes you quietly from the inside out. This is a good time to recalibrate, not react. Clean your digital spaces. Be mindful of what and who you give your attention to. Not out of avoidance, but out of respect for your energy. If something consistently drains you, ask yourself why you're still allowing it. Sometimes, the kindest act of love is a boundary. Sometimes, evolution looks like closing a door with grace. Color therapy offers a subtle way to anchor this energetic shift. Golden yellow connects you to solar confidence, reminding you of your natural radiance. Earthy orange grounds your fire in steadiness and passion. Creamy white softens your aura, inviting in purity and calm. These are not just aesthetic choices, they are frequencies you can wear, surround yourself with, and absorb. So as the sky rearranges itself above you, take it as a signal. Now is the time to edit your world with love. Let go of the cluttered noise. Recommit to what truly matters. And trust that what remains after this pruning is not a loss but a sacred clearing for everything that's meant to flourish next. Sometimes the things that slow us down the most are not outside forces, but quiet stories we keep repeating to ourselves, stories born of fear, stories we inherited, stories we once needed to protect ourselves but no longer serve the life we want to create. Right now, in this sacred window of energetic opening, healing is not just possible, it's asking to be chosen. And it begins not with trying to fix everything, but with the simple act of seeing clearly. In this moment, as the cosmos rearranges to support your growth, you're being invited to recognize the invisible strings that may still be holding you in patterns of delay, self-doubt, or emotional resistance. There is a kind of pain that comes not from loss itself, but from the belief that we must carry it alone. The fear of success, for example, isn't about incompetency, it's about the subtle fear that rising too high will isolate you, make you a target, or create expectations you can't maintain. But success doesn't have to be heavy. It becomes heavy only when we attach it to old definitions of worth. Similarly, the fear of being betrayed often doesn't come from current reality, it echoes from past experiences where trust was broken, where love became conditional, or where safety was taken away. These imprints, stored in the emotional body, become like fog on a mirror. They don't erase your reflection, but they do blur your vision of it. This is why healing, at its root, is not a task, it's a return. A return to what is already whole within you. One gentle but powerful way to initiate this return is to write a letter of forgiveness. Not to send. Not to argue. But to release. Write it to a person, to an old version of yourself, to a chapter of your life that still feels heavy. Allow the truth to pour out, not the polite version, but the real one. Let the pain speak. Let the love speak too. Then, fold it, breathe with it, and let it go. This ritual isn't about them, it's about you choosing to carry something lighter into your future. You can deepen this release with a daily 15-minute practice of stillness. Sit quietly each morning and visualize cords, threads of attachment, resentment, or longing gently dissolving. Not being cut with force, but melting like frost in sunlight. This imagery holds power because it mirrors how real change often occurs, not in explosions, but in soft and steady surrender. The more you sit with yourself, the more you'll notice that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to someone ancient, someone honest, someone free. When we hold on to things that are no longer aligned with who we're becoming, we clog the energetic space required for new blessings to arrive. Letting go isn't always about saying goodbye, it's about saying thank you. Thank you for what this person, pattern, or pain taught me. Thank you for showing me what I want and what I never want again. And if you've been told that strength means never needing help, let me gently offer a new understanding. True strength is not the refusal to fall, it's the willingness to rise again, softer, wiser, and more open. You don't have to be strong alone. But you do need the courage to stop clutching what has already completed its role in your story. So I invite you to pause, right now, and ask yourself, what emotional weight are you ready to release? What narrative has outlived its purpose? And what version of you is patiently waiting behind it? If you feel ready to walk through the darkness into a truer light, I'd love for you to share that intention in the comments. Say, I am ready to be healed. Not for me, but for you. Because once that declaration is made, even quietly, the universe begins moving in your favor. Not to do the work for you, but to meet you exactly where you are, and walk the rest of the way together. Manifestation, in its purest form, is not wishful thinking dressed in pretty words. It is not passive. It is not impatient. True manifestation is the art of co-creating with the present moment while anchoring your deepest alignment into your external reality. It asks you to become a bridge between intention and embodiment, between what you imagine and what you are willing to act upon. Thought alone doesn't shift energy. Emotion alone doesn't guarantee momentum. It's when thought, feeling, and action come into alignment with the right timing, the right symbols, and the right presence that manifestation becomes inevitable. For Leo, a sign ruled by the sun, this means harnessing your natural radiance, but doing so with grounded clarity. The universe doesn't respond to noise, it responds to coherence. So when you set an intention this week, it's important to remember that clarity is not just about what you want, but about what you are ready to release in order to receive it. What you want must match who you are becoming. That is the sacred exchange. One way to begin this process is by selecting a symbol and object charged with meaning. Not as a superstition, but as an anchor. A 777 charged bracelet, a piece of sunstone, a specific journal or scent. Choose something physical that holds your intention. Our minds associate meaning through image and touch, and having something to hold or wear is a powerful reminder of what you're calling in. Let it sit on your desk, by your bed, or near the place where you reflect each day. The act of seeing it, touching it, remembering it keeps your energy pointed forward. Next, write down 3 things you are willing to give away without condition. These are not sacrifices, they are offerings. It could be your time, your forgiveness, your creative gift, your attention. This step aligns you with the natural law of reciprocity. When you open your hand to give, you make space to receive. But the giving must come from fullness, not from depletion. It must be offered in truth, not in manipulation. Think of it as energetic pruning. What you clear with love returns to you in form you could not have planned. Then, connect with the sun not just as a star in the sky, but as your ruler, your energetic parent. Wake up with the morning light and spend 10 intentional minutes under the early rays between 7 and 8 a.m. Let the warmth land on your skin, and as it does, speak the affirmation, I am ready to shine. Not to prove. Not to compete. But to become. This ritual is less about the words and more about the stillness you enter while saying them. It's in that stillness that your frequency rises. There's one more layer that's often overlooked: silence. Don't tell your plans to people who aren't equipped to hold them. There's a sacred power in privacy. When you share a vision too soon with someone who can't see it, their doubt can distort your energy before it's even begun to take root. Think of your vision like a seed in the soil. It needs time in the dark to germinate. Talking too much about it can expose it to winds it's not ready to face. Protect it. Nourish it. Let it bloom in its own time. Finally, the most important step of all, act. Even a small movement in the direction of your vision creates a ripple. Energy responds to motion. Not chaotic motion, but motion born from your center. If your intuition says start now, start. Don't overthink. Don't wait for perfect. Momentum is often quiet, like a river under the surface, only visible once it's already carried you somewhere new. You are not here just to dream, Leo. You are here to create. To live as proof that alignment is not an abstract idea, but a lived reality. This is the moment. This is the path. And it begins not someday but now. And now, Leo, as we arrive gently at the closing of this sacred message, I invite you to pause for just a moment and truly feel the energy around you. The 7/7 portal is open. The cosmic tides are moving. The signs have been revealed. But even so, none of it can truly take root unless you decide to open the door and step through. Because while the universe may offer the key, you are the one who must turn it. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to become someone else. You only need to take the next honest step in the right energy, with the right focus, and with a belief that refuses to be shaken. You've seen the messages through tarot, through astrology, through the numbers that speak not only to fate but to personal freedom. You've been reminded that healing doesn't mean erasing the past but liberating yourself from what no longer defines you. That manifestation is not just a wish you send into the sky, but a pattern of daily alignment, a rhythm of giving, receiving, and showing up for the version of yourself that you say you want to become. So let me ask you, from one soul to another, if you truly believe that a more abundant, peaceful, and radiant version of your life was within reach, what would you do differently, starting today? Would you speak more kindly to yourself? Would you finally commit to that vision you've been hesitating to act on? Would you let go of that one thing you know has kept you small? What part of your truth is ready to be lived not tomorrow, but now? This isn't about rushing. It's about remembering. Remembering that you are not here to play small. You are not here to wait for permission. You are here to lead, not always loudly, but always from the light of your soul. And right now, that light is being called into something greater. If this message has spoken to your heart, if even one part of you feels seen, stirred, or softened, then I invite you to declare it. Leave a comment below that says, "I'm ready to walk through the gate." Let the universe hear your voice. Let your future self feel your courage. Let your present moment witness your choice. And if you haven't yet, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness, and share this with someone you know is also standing at a threshold of transformation. Every gesture of support you give here helps amplify the light we are building together. It allows this channel to keep bringing these healing transmissions to those who need them most, including you. I want to thank you deeply and sincerely for allowing me to walk beside you today. Your energy here is not something I take lightly. And if you've stayed with me to the very end, it means something more than you may realize. The universe is already responding to your readiness. The moment you choose your future, it begins to choose you back. I believe in your light, Leo. I always have. And the truth is, if you're still here, listening, feeling this, you already know the door has opened. So now, the question is simple. Will you walk through it?